All right, welcome back again. Yes, it's me again. We're running the Wildemount session tonight. Mr. Elliott wasn't able to play tonight, so you guys get to hear a lot of me again.
Double dose.
And as per the usual for our Wildemount campaign, we have our half-orc Tempest Cleric being played by Dean, my brother. Pretty gruff dude. All about where the money's at. Pretty interesting guy. Has a knack
Likes
for making jewelry out of teeth. Yes.
Great next teeth.
And then we have Cole playing Atlas, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter.
Yeah.
Pretty seasoned veteran. Just kind of like he's almost taking up a father role in the sense of, yeah, he'll be all right, but if not, I'll help type of attitude. And is also money driven, food driven, kind of just whatever, as long as he's taken care of and he's good. And then we have Katie returning, back from the move and getting back into the swing of her new job and everything, or going back to her old job. I can't remember. I might have fucked that up. It's okay.
Back to the
but
old
either
life.
way, getting back into the swing of working and all of that. So she's back playing Mara, the drow monk. Hopefully I did an okay job at playing her, but we'll see. And then finally we have Brian, Stretch the Smith, playing Proteus, the changeling bard, who has gained some confidence as of late. Showed some visible rage at Julio, who they encountered, and yeah, seemed to have, I guess, matured a little. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll figure that out. But basically, they had woken up from the night's rest and talked to Elro a little bit before they went to Croaker Cave. Went there and investigated and came across some large giant ice frogs. Fighting these things, eventually learning that they could have tried to not tame them, but calm them. But they took a few out before learning that, and they ran into some more bandits. One they got the jump on pretty easy. Two more after that. Had a small encounter with some more frogs, and then they learned. This is when they learned about the other frogs. They found the largest frog they've ever seen in their life. That through some dead bats being fed to it and some animal handling checks, it ferried them across to this room where Julio Lutan was that they were looking for. They start talking with her and learn that she had contracted this frigid woe from a cracked vial of some blue dust. That was, the vial was a part of Ergen's findings in his expeditions in Isocross. And through changes of hands, Ergen got it, Tolgi caught it, and now Julio. Julio was with one of her apprentice cultists who didn't seem to have this disease. He didn't have any of the signs, the blue veins, sluggishness. But after learning some information that Julio had sold this vial to just some poor schmuck that was traveling into Palebank, she no longer has it, and some emotions were flaring and combat happened. Julio got taken out pretty quick. She got torched, for lack of a better term, and basically intimidating the apprentice. The party was able to end the combat without killing both of them, and convinced him to try and pick this lock on a chest that was in here that that Julio was protecting, essentially. Well, when with Proteus's guidance, at least, telling him, how to pick this lock because he doesn't know how to do anything like that. The cultist doesn't. So the cultist tries to pick the lock, and there's a puff of blue smoke, and that's where we will start in here. The Constitution saving throws were already rolled, and so the chest is not locked, or it is still locked, and this guy didn't succeed whatsoever. Puff of blue smoke kind of dissipates after a few moments, and here we are.
Did I fail? Did I pass or fail? Do I know? Oh.
Bill knows.
You fool! No! What's gonna happen? I'm already so terribly cold here. It's gonna be awful. Oh no! This is horrifying. What do we do?
The cultist is also reacting. He's freaking out. He's like, "What? I didn't know it was gonna do that."
You lie. It's just like you lie about your thieving life. You do it because you're a bad man, and you have no feelings for anyone else's property, and you're evil. Haganar, you should just rid the world of this man too.
You're really turning into quite the killer, son.
Warhammer at his face.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Do I have any kind of... Oh, no, probably not. Never mind.
I'd say you have advantage.
Oh, thank you! Okay, first one was an 8, second one was a 14, so...
That's gonna
18?
hit.
Yeah. Definitely
Right.
going to swing it two-handed.
Yeah, you should have said that beforehand.
Sure.
Because you got a
Okay.
shield in your hand.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do have my shield. Oh. Okay.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
1d8. Yeah, I know. I'm looking for my die.
Oh, okay. We'll find it.
2. You find it.
2 total?
2. 3 total. Yeah. 4 total. Sorry.
Okay.
1d8 plus 2, so 4 total. 2 on the die.
Well, I mean, it knocks him on his ass, and he's just kind of like, What are you doing? I could be dying. What is this? I didn't know it was going to shoot smoke at us."
Of course you didn't. You lie about everything. It's what you do. You're a thief. You're a liar.
So you really think he's just gonna go and poison himself, huh?
You're probably right.
Why
Haganar
would I would probably rather you guys kill me instead of trying to. If I knew it was going to do that, at least you guys killing me would be fast. Now I'm going to turn into an icicle, popsicle, something.
And it's a fate you deserve for the life you've led.
Haganar is definitely going to look sad that he didn't get to knock any teeth out.
I'd say you hit him like kind of square in the chest, and he like stumbles back and trips or something.
Concealed anyway, little apprentice. I don't see why you can't just open the chest for us. Like, you can't be afraid to touch it. You can't be afraid to mess with it anymore because your fate's sealed.
I obviously am not good at this lock picking thing.
Yeah, you're not needed anymore anyway. I'll just pick the lock.
Okay, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand.
I forgot how mad Proteus was at this guy until I looked at my notes and said he fucking hates this guy.
You're right. Super fucking pissed.
Angry about thief life, man. In all caps with 601.
Angry about thief life, man.
It's a 16 plus 5, it's a 21.
Yeah, that's easy enough to get the chest open for sure. You kind of look at him with just one hand, and you're just like, now is that so hard?
You're not even a good thief at that.
So yeah, in here, opening the chest, there's another. No, I'm just kidding. So there we just gonna have one person write it down, or are you guys gonna try to divvy it up as I read it? How just so I'm not reading too fast and people can't write things down.
Go ahead.
Uh,
All right, you got a gilded scroll case covered in cosmological map of the multiverse. A jade statuette that looks similar to a storm giant, or looks like a storm giant. Quiver of 6 arrows. The quiver is pretty ornate looking. It's got like fine stitching and designs on the outside of it, and even the fletching on these arrows look pretty fancy. There's also a silver ring with a jasper stone set in it. A receipt indicating that Julio sold that vial to a man named Irvin Lyle, Irven. First name Lyle is his second, Liel. His last name, I mean.
Vial sold to Irvin Lyle.
Yeah. He sold the vial to Irvin Lyle, and he contracted the frozen woe. Then some coins, bunch of coins. So in there is 415 copper pieces, 234 silver, that's Electrum. I don't use Electrum. I wrote it down too like an idiot. So that would be
Conversion time.
Electrum is 5 silver. Yeah. So, okay, cool. I'm going to cross that out then. So, and 114 gold pieces. Did some math there. That is it. That's in the in this chest.
Now, were these all stolen? These were this is everything that was stolen from the wherever you guys went to.
I think so. I think Mara does have that receipt, or maybe Haganar. I can't remember if he had that receipt. Actually, Mara or Proteus, when he used to, when he.
I think it was
but
Mara.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
I
This
think
was
I've got it.
this was the stuff that Tolgi secured from Pelks.
This is probably what brings this whole damn curse. How old does this stuff look?
Like it's not gathering dust or anything like that. If that's what you're kind of asking.
I just
It
mean
doesn't
like
seem like it's been in there for a long time, or
no, not in the chest. I mean like how old does does it look like ancient stuff? Or
I'd say the scroll case might look probably the oldest as far as ancient could have been found during the expedition. Is what you're trying to find, like get at?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other than the things that you found that are listed on that receipt, I'd say the scroll case, because I can't remember if that was on there. I guess I should have looked. It was? Okay, yeah, all of this
Yep.
stuff then I'm pretty sure matches up. That was the only thing I was unsure about, whether it was on that list. Yeah, so all this stuff matches up. It looks, I mean, not crazy old, like, I don't know. You threw me for a loop, Brian. I'm about to start talking in circles.
Move on.
Yeah, it's definitely the stuff that came from Isocross, though. If that's what you're trying to get at, like if you're trying to figure
I'm
out.
very insightful. Yes, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'm
gotcha.
not.
I wasn't prepared for a question like that, I guess.
All right.
So
Can anybody detect any magic on this stuff? Like, is this are we okay to touch it?
I can try to. I do know a spell that can help me tell if it's a magic item or not. Certainly. But I already detected magic actually, and it was radiating from this chest, wasn't it?
Yeah, the chest itself.
I already used that last session, I believe.
Down. I'm like, cool, I was super prepped. And the things that I didn't think to write down, naturally, are the things that you're asking. But that's okay. That's why I didn't write it down. The chest itself isn't magic. It was radiating from Julio and yeah, no, there's no magical aura coming from it.
Oh, okay, it was raining from Halil. Okay. Am I
It might
radiating?
have when you asked at the time, it might have been radiating some magical aura, but right now, it is not. Not
Am
anymore.
I now radiating a magical aura?
I mean, you're an arcane. Nothing that would. If I guess you'd be pretty aware of the type of magic that your being would put out, and nothing that seems foreign.
No, nothing. Nothing in this chest seems to
Alright
have
then.
any magic radiating off it. It's just the dust, possibly.
Okay, well, if it's not dangerous and there's no objections, I'm just gonna help myself to this, and I'm just gonna grab the ring because it looks kind of fancy, kind of pretty, and I'm gonna put that on.
We should probably put the stuff back. Take it back to the island.
Why put it back?
Because it's cursed the land. It's brought the sickness.
No, that dust is the sickness.
I mean,
This is just perfectly good treasure.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This is just things that we can sell. Like we can make a lot of money off of this.
It's not always about money. It's helping. It's
Of course, it's always about money.
maybe for some. I understand.
Bill, what did you say that statue was? That statuette thing?
Looks like a storm giant. It's a little small statuette, kind of like action figure sized, maybe.
As you guys tell Proteus it's all about money, I think he's just gonna go slump in a corner. Just sad puppy dog cowering corner.
You kind of like go slump in a corner in maybe in the direction of the pool, or deeper in the into
Probably
the little room.
towards the back of the room, maybe like towards the bedroll area, and just kind of plump down, legs on arms on legs, and just so head down, dejected kind of look.
I think Haganar would definitely want to take that statuette if nobody else is opposed to it.
Oh, it's all yours.
I guess he probably wouldn't really ask.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd probably just woke up and be like, "Ooh, I like that."
Yeah, I think Atlas is just trying to get his split of the gold,
Atlas, you too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do this stuff for free.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, you
why don't
guys
you
are
just
split.
shapeshift on a happier face?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Katie. Proteus turned into a very small being to get out of a frog's mouth last game.
Forgot
too.
about that.
Yeah. Forgot about
So
that too.
the whole party would have learned now that he has those shape shifting abilities.
Yeah.
Atlas thinks he's a doppelganger.
He has his suspicions. He's not sure of anything yet.
So yeah,
Right.
but he is a little mad about it.
Slap on a happier face. Oh man. Oh, would he be motivated by that?
That's harsh. Surely, who in our party has a bow and arrow?
I do.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the quiver with the real fancy quiver and the fancy arrows, and I'm gonna try and give it to Proteus in the corner, try to cheer him up. Like this, clearly, you like fine things. You dress in a very fine manner. This is clearly a high quality and very expensive, even significant, possibly accessory. Why don't you take this? Maybe it'll help you.
Maybe. Yeah. Fine.
When she hands them to you, you being probably the only one familiar with the arcane whatsoever, you just feel a slight resonate, like internally, like you're. It seems like they might be fancy arrows or something. Like you can't put your finger on. There's just a slight, like, I don't know, without it being obviously dramatic, but like a vibration, or like internally you could feel it kind of with just your being in tune with arcane spells, magic.
Well, I guess these will have to do something. Now, what about this scroll case? Maybe there's something in it. I'm sorry,
so
guys.
it was like wasn't sealed or anything. Also, by the way, it's like open. So just picking it up, it does seem to be empty. Not sure. It's maybe could have been an ancient Aeorian mage used it to both. It had a map on the outside of it of the a cosmological map of the multiverse. Maybe these Aeorians, their mages or high mages or whatever, were able to. They stored some scrolls of one sort, like spell scrolls, something like that in there, and maps. I don't know. Maps are probably pretty big, but yeah, these people were in constant seek of more and more knowledge, and some would say their magic rivaled the gods. So they're traveling through the multiverse. Could be something of that purpose. Both a map and a case.
I think Haganar, seeing Proteus all down in the dumps, would have walked over to him and made some kind of attempt to cheer him up. I don't know how it would go, but it'd definitely be something along the lines of hey man, if you're gonna wear my necklace, like you can't act like that. Like you gotta toughen up, or I'm gonna need it back.
It's not about being tough.
It is about being tough.
No, toughness is your character in even the darkest situations. It's your character in how you act when you're faced up against hard times and hard situations. And the right thing to do here would be to return these items to where they came from. And you feel that gold is more important. So I don't feel that's very tough. You're taking the easy
Well,
way.
I mean, if they're from an ancient civilization, all the guys that they belong to are probably long dead. Whereas we are very much alive for the moment. So
I don't feel very alive.
I feel like we.
I'm also gonna say that who would we even return these to? Like, Pelk is dead. That's where this stuff came from. Tolgi's on her way to being dead. There's, she stole it in the first place. There's nobody to return them to.
Right.
When it comes down to it, I don't like stealing things blatantly from people. But if something happens to fall in my lap, like a chest with money in it, then there you go. You didn't go into somebody's house and steal it from them, and now their children are going to starve to death. You are taking care of yourself, and that is what we do.
Right.
And then the cultist who kind of went like back down the hallway ish, but still in your guys' sight, probably afraid that you would think he'd be trying to make a run for it, so he didn't want to push his luck. But he's partially down the hallway. He's like, "Yeah, you're right, or he's right,
You
Uh,
stay out of this.
I'm going to agree because that guy is prime example of why. Would it make you feel better if we just killed him? I mean, he's the reason why you're feeling like this. They're the ones that stole the stuff from Togi. And if it wasn't for that, then you wouldn't be in this predicament of not knowing what to do.
We don't.
Just finish him off.
He's right.
It's okay.
Just killing is not always the answer. Okay.
Hey, you shut up. Do you want me to kill you?
I'm just gonna take a couple steps closer to him so that I'm in like a good range. Take out one of my little shuriken and like throw it at him. Kind of half-assed. I'm like, I don't care if it hits him or not. I just want to scare him into shutting up because this guy's not helping.
Disadvantage because you're just kind of like, whatever.
Disadvantage? Okay.
Just because, like you said, you didn't care too much if you hit him or not, so you're just like
7.
nonchalantly like.
He's like, shut the fuck
7
up, dude.
Total.
7 total to hit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it just kind of like clinks on the ground behind it, like hits the, because he's kind of got his back up to the cave wall, and it kind of like hits right next to him, and he's just like, okay, all right, sorry, just trying to help.
Being
Helped
helpful would have
enough,
been
babe.
not doing this in the first place.
Exactly.
What'd you say?
Proteus has a point.
What did Proteus say?
So being helpful would have been not stealing the stuff in the first place.
So what do you say? You gonna finish him off? Make you feel better?
Oh, what does he say to that? Yeah. He'd probably be like, no, killing anyone is never the best solution. Well, seems to be more common than I think, but not now.
I'm pretty sure we just had a conversation the other night. I think Mara said, best way to cheer yourself up is either to have a drink or kill somebody. And you won't know until you do one of those things. Now's the perfect opportunity.
I feel like the drink's an easier step.
Okay. I'm gonna... Like I said, I didn't expect it to be a very valiant effort to
Visibly,
cheer
like-
anybody up anyway.
He's no longer saying anything, but he's just like visibly up against the wall, just like kind of like looking around. He's taking very, very shallow breaths. Anything to no longer cause any sort of attention from this conversation to him.
Well, how about this? Let's clean up here, do what we got to do, get what we got to get, and let's go back to town. Maybe we can get you a drink, rest for a little bit, regain our strength before we set out and do it. And we can talk about what our next step will be.
Haganar, I thought about something you said earlier too, about us being like me being an actor and putting on a face. And I just want you to understand that my belief is that the whole world is a stage, and we're all merely players, performers, and betrayers. Each another's audience outside the gilded cage.
I'm gonna kind of look at him very puzzled and be like, yeah, sure, same.
Right. And then I think Proteus is going to walk up to the Steve dude and just kind of do one of those as he starts walking down the hallway. Yeah.
Super flinching, nerd.
Stop with all the damn poetry and let's split some gold, huh?
Yeah, he's just like kind of, he flinches for sure.
Am I to take a share too?
I mean, if you
That's
don't
up
want
to
it,
you.
we
You don't
will
have
definitely
to.
take it. But hey, we're in this together, so
So we're a team.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
All I want is to find a place where I have a team, where I can work with a group of people to better the world. And if you think that taking on a mission like this, that even though it is for gold, you can make a difference, then I'll stand with you. But just, I want to know that we are a team.
How can I say that we're a team when I don't even know what the hell you are?
The hell I am? What do you mean?
You, shapeshifter. Your kind comes in many different forms. Some more devious, some more neutral, we'll say. But
I
depending what
I
you
mean-
are, I should be hunting you right now. I want you to understand that.
Look, Atlas. I mean, you know this guy. You've known this guy for a good 2 days now. He ain't gonna hurt anyone. I think you can leave him at the bottom of your list.
I'm sure I could hurt someone.
Magical creatures. I don't know about that. I mean, you have a golden opportunity right here. Gonna like nod at the little apprentice dude again.
What do you think I am, Atlas?
You know, just kind of do like one of those big old sniffs at you. I guess that's just what I'm trying to
Worn,
figure out.
Tattered snout with scar
Yeah.
marks on his face.
Could be.
I smell chicken.
Would you would you believe me if I said I was a changeling?
I'd like to. It'd be a lot more preferable to hearing that you're a doppelganger.
No, of course not. I can show you. I left this part of me behind, but I could show you my true self, I suppose.
How do I know it's even your true self?
I mean, you could kill me to find out for sure, but I don't think that's anyone's preferred solution.
I'd say it's very in the middle.
Haganar is definitely having a struggle in his head right now because he wants to like stand up and you know be on Proteus's side, but it's also his thunder buddy. He doesn't want to go against Atlas, but he doesn't want to. I don't know. He's very torn right now. Maybe making a lot of weird faces.
Atlas, I mean, I look up to you, man. You've become. Well, I don't have many, but I'd call you a bit of a friend. You're brave and strong. Things I admire, and I want to be more like you and Haganar and Mara. You're so brave. You're also so strong-willed and so strong, and you want to charge into battle and rush in, and I feel confident around you guys. But again, I want to be on your team, not a enemy of you. And if you don't believe that I'm just a changeling, and I don't know how to prove that to you. I bleed the same blood as you, my friend.
Well, let's just say I'll keep my eye open.
Oh. I thought I saw your mouth move, and I was like, "Oh, is he muted?" That's why I did that.
Epic. I'll just keep my eye on you for now. And
what if I get rid of the feather? Would you trust me?
What's the feather matter?
It seemed to matter a lot to her.
If Mara still wants the feather, she should have the feather.
These guys are having this
Fine.
conversation. I've kind of just like walked over to the chest, picked up the scroll case because nobody else has taken it. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna hold on to this one too. And the receipt, and started divvying up all of the money like 4 ways because I'm kind of bit impatient, like, look, you're either going to be with us or without us. Let's get out of here. We got money to spend.
All right, Mark. Here's my feather. You guys are getting more of me. That's a sign of my team. My teamwork.
Fine. Just make sure I
It's actually beautiful.
get some good gold and don't stab me in the back. If you do, I promise. It'll be the last mistake you ever make.
I believe that.
Well, now that that's settled, we're a good old team now, aren't we?
So back to what Haganar was saying. Are we supposed to kill him?
Yeah, it
Team?
doesn't matter.
I want to see you do it.
In cold blood.
It's not cold blood. He's done wrong things. He deserves it.
He did poison me.
He stole. He poisoned you. Could have been. We still don't know if you're okay. I mean, do you feel fine? Are you good?
It's like proactive revenge, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. If in the end he comes down to be the reason you die from this, then I would definitely hope that you would want to be the same reason why he's dead.
I never thought of it like that.
I'm going to take out my little short blade and offer it to Proteus.
I'm
Not
going to
like
walk
this.
over to not like this. I'm going to walk over to him, to the bandit, and restrain him, hold him down.
No. We'll just leave. We'll just take our gold and go. We'll take him back to town and we'll turn him in. Let's just go. Trust me.
Ooh, that's a very good thought. There could be like a reward in this. We could get extra gold. That's smart. I'm about this guy.
Extra gold. Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
All right, then I will take out some rope and tie him up.
He's
definitely
not
stick
cooperating
something-
at this point. Yeah, he's not. I mean, seeing how fast you guys took his boss out, and then openly talking about murdering him, not murdering him, murdering him, not murder. He's just like, man, I'm just not even gonna take any chances with these people. I think I'd rather go to prison.
Smart man.
So yeah, easy enough to get back. Like you know, what it takes to.
I don't want to
soothe-
interrupt you there, Bill. So when we're throwing the bats to the large frog, can I make some sort of check to kick this guy in the water?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think you would even need a check. He's pretty bound. I don't know how you guys would store him on the frog. Would he be just bound at the wrists and he's standing, or like hogtied and someone's carrying him? What are you guys doing here?
I mean, it's Hagnar's rope, so
Any-
I guess he's on
Yeah,
decider on that.
Decide to do it.
So, I guess, yeah, I guess he'd just have his hands tied, and then I'm just kind of grabbing from between the rope, and just holding him. So he's kind of just like this, like just dangling off the back of the frog, I guess, ish. I don't know how big it is, if there's enough space for him to, but
I mean, sure. Yeah, all you guys would be able to fit on there. It's a large frog.
That was a big ass frog.
Very big.
So you said that you were gonna try to give him a
Well,
nudge.
I was
or
thinking
something?
as we're feeding this frog, after we
Oh,
get a
before
pretty good
you're
idea
even
that
on
we're
the
feeding
frog.
him. Yeah. As we're getting a good idea of feeding him, this frog
Okay.
knows that I'm now
Oh.
feeding him. I'm going to kick
I
this man in the
misunderstood.
water and try to have the frog
Yeah.
eat him.
Give me an athletics check with advantage because he's not expecting this at all.
Okay. Athletics, great.
It's gonna
Brody's
be
going to be great at that.
contested.
All right. So that is a natural 20. Thank you for advantage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so he got a 15. I was like, that's why I kind of made that face. I was like, oh, Proteus is not very strong. Yeah. So you have this bucket, probably half full at this time of dead bats, and you're tossing them up. The first one kind of lands in the water, and then you see it get grabbed and brought down, and then you toss up a second one, and then you see it kind of surface and grabs up another one, and as the third bat's getting tossed up, you kind of just lean back and do a push kick in the small of this wood elf's back, and yeah, and he is restrained already, but falls into this large frog's mouth and is grappled. So in sequence with the stat block, even if it didn't, the narrative is too great. The frog attempts to swallow this wood elf cultist, and through some fighting. Oh yeah, yeah. You don't. It takes a little bit. It's not immediate. There is some resistance, but seeing as he's bound, he can't do too much. He's kind of trying to, do some of this and get out or whatever. And then eventually you kind of see the large form of the frog stop shaking as violently. And just maybe it lets out a belch. I don't know how fast the frog's digestive system is, but why not? Why not?
Yeah, and
I think that Haganar would definitely reach in for a fist bump on that one.
I feel better.
Told you. All right, now let's get this show on the road. Let's get back. I'm hungry.
So getting back to Palebank would not be any sort of issue. You basically cleared everything out except for this one frog, who you have basically allied with you ish enough that it won't try to attack you. It's probably happy with you now. It's like, all this free food, cool. Yeah, making your way back to Palebank. Once you guys get to town, what do you want to do?
Drink.
Well, the way I see it, guys, we've got 2 gold, 2 silver, and 15 copper left over from a 4-way split on this cash, so drinks?
Drinks. Also, what is the split on this cash? Because I did not write any notes down.
Alrighty,
Did
so
you
we
already do
get
the math?
100 copper each. We get 58 silver each. And we get 28 gold each. That's an even split.
Wicked. Very nice.
And then yeah, we have some pennies left
Very
over
nice.
for some beers.
All right. Would we be able to get so? Well, I guess that'd be a conversation to have with the team when we get there. I guess I'll wait. Never mind.
All right. So we're heading for some
Going
drinks
and
then.
getting some beers. Yeah. So you guys make your way to the Jolly Dwarf Inn, which as you walk in, you see that the downstairs of this inn is just basically it's like a large tap room. And behind the bar, there's a gray-haired dwarf who just seems pretty cheerful. He's wiping and he's like, "Oh, more customers. What can I do for you? You guys look a little tired." I'm not going to attempt an Irish accent like everyone dwarves, by the way, just in case everyone's like, "Whoa, huh? Yeah,
Huh.
you guys look tired. You need a drink? What's going on? How's it going?" And he's just really like happy. He's wiping down the bar. What's going on, guys?
I just killed a man.
Yeah, we've been there. All right, he's running the house, and he fills up an ale and sits it down. He's like, I know. Wait, no one here, right?
No.
And he kind of. Oh yeah, what on the house?
Sure.
I'm gonna buy him another one.
Oh, two. Huh.
All right. So I guess I should have asked prior to coming here. Did anybody want to get Elro? Should one of us go get him, or should we wait for that?
How much? So I've been told drinks can make you forget a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't drink.
Maybe. Right. I'll talk to Elro, and I think he'll just down the 2 drinks as quickly as he can, and then try to go.
Probably doesn't have much history drinking any sort of alcohol, does he?
None.
No. Okay.
Maybe some wine, like a glass, but he just kind of sip it all night long and go, "Yeah, this is delicious."
Okay.
Ugh.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please, Proteus.
Sure. That is a 14.
Okay. So you down these 2 drinks, and the first one you kind of like belch a little bit, and like you know how when you burp and you get a little bit that comes back up, it's kind of like that, and you're just like, fuck. And you go and down the second one, and same thing. Like you don't actually vomit, but this one it was pretty close. It was almost borderline like you caught some vomit in your mouth. It wasn't quite enough to be that serious, but you're just like.
I see why you do this, Atlas.
Yeah, it's a good time, isn't it, kid?
That's great. Yeah. Should I go talk to Elro now?
You know, he had a good idea. I'll take 2. Bring 2.
I'm gonna.
My little friend. Of course.
Yeah, Haganar is definitely gonna say. I think you should bring him back here. Don't just go talk to him alone. It didn't end well last time. Just
I'm
bring
less
him
excited
back
this
here.
time. Okay, sure.
Okay.
You know what? I feel like I should probably go with you, and I'm gonna get like a shot from the bartender and just like throw it back, and then leave with Proteus because I just don't trust him not to fuck it up again.
Does this inn have food? I'm imagining too.
Oh yes, of course.
Haganar is definitely gonna get some food.
You know Atlas is
The
looking
biggest-
for some grub.
The biggest helping of meat that he can get to. I don't know if they have, giant chicken legs or something. Or,
Yeah, he wants a
maybe
big
some
cartoon.
elf
A
legs.
full
Big
baby
cartoon
pig on a
mutton.
spit.
Yeah.
Atlas
Mutton,
is probably
yeah.
still caught up on the elf leg.
Can we hit that house? I have a little elf in the snow, you know. Try to save
there
him
it
for
is.
later.
You're jealous of the frog. Oh, at least someone gets beat up around here.
Why'd he push him in? I would have eaten him.
They didn't frown on the frog for eating an elf, and they're trying to get mad at me about it.
Oh, but when you force feed something, I'm sure the frog enjoyed it. So elf must be tasty, right?
It's gonna be like staring these guys down during this conversation, like "You fucking touch me."
No, you've been inside too long. You don't have enough nutrients from the sun. You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just heard so many good reviews on Wood Elf, you know?
Drow's the dark meat. Atlas is more in tune with the white meat, with the light meat. Wood elves, high elves,
Somebody
Yeah,
that
I
goes
saw it
nuts
on
with
the
a bit of
Yelp
cranberry
board.
sauce.
Do you say you saw it on a Yelp review?
On the yield Yelp board that the Wood Elf is 10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10.
Just like the town community board, just someone writing a review for eating other people.
Yeah, and you post
Oh,
it.
that's my next
Post it on the
one-shot
page.
idea. Oh,
Daily cannibalism recommendations.
Yeah, D&D cooking mama cannibalism.
I'm gonna call it the town cannibal. That's gonna be a one-shot. Sorry, we're getting really off track here.
You're fine.
Content.
So yeah, I was kind of just looking at. I knew the prices of drinks and whatnot were pretty cheap. I just wanted to look to make sure roundabout area. So yeah, you guys, Mara and Proteus, you guys are able to go. You make your way to Elro's tent, his yurt, if you will, and see that there is smoke rising up, like he's got a fire lit in his fireplace or whatever inside the yurt. And so you just going up, knocking on the door. Actually, no, it probably wouldn't even be closed. He's pretty. He has to deal with a lot of shit throughout the day, so people are in and out complaining or what have you, one way or another. So walking in, he kind of like turns around to look, and he's just, you guys are back. Where are the rest of you? How was the cave?
We're
Is
back
everything
and
okay?
slightly lighter.
Pointing to the
No, I know what he's saying. He's just like, right. Same.
Right.
Where are your other two friends? The
We want to invite
larger
you for a
two.
drink at the Drunken Skunk Inn or whatever it is.
Oh, the Jolly Dwarf? Of
Yes,
course.
that's it.
Drunken skunk.
the winking skeever.
I'm sorry, there was a terrible smell in that cave. It was awful.
So yeah, he kind of actually downs his own glass that he had a little bit of maybe looked to be a dark liquor in there. Takes some dice. Of course. I need caught up. Is everyone okay?
Yeah. Yes, there's plenty of things that we
Well,
can
for
discuss.
now, but I think we need
while he was doing that, he's kind of like putting his heavier cloak on and everything like that. His slouchy beanie that kind of just holds onto the back of his head looks super edgy. I'm kidding. No one was reacting, so I just kept rolling with it. No, he just starts putting his warmer clothes and follows you guys to the Jolly Dwarf.
Oh, do you have anything warmer that I might be able to borrow, like a drink? I've been quite cold. I dove in some water.
Yeah, sure. And he kind of goes in and has like hanging on hooks on the wall a few different cloaks, and he's just like, "Oh no, that's my formal one." No.
That
He
one's quite
finally just
nice.
grabs one. It's like, yeah, okay. And he just hands you it. And like to you guys, they all look pretty. To you two, they all look pretty much the same. Like maybe Proteus, having a taste for like fine clothing and everything, might notice like, oh, the color pattern is a little different. But generally, they just look like furs.
This will clash. So you know what? Thank you.
I just kind of gonna watch Proteus from now on, just like out the corner of my eye every couple minutes, and make sure that his lips aren't turning blue and that he doesn't start like shivering or something. Because
No more than usual.
I'm kind of on the fence. It's like, well, then it's only a 3-way split, but at the same time, don't really want this guy to die yet. He's gonna keep an eye on it.
There is something I don't understand, Elro.
Yes, but
How I could just kill a man. It doesn't.
No. Okay, Elro. So what happened here? Was we'll explain it to you in detail when we rejoin the rest of the crew. But what happened here?
Well, I didn't kill it. The frog killed it. It ate it. But I'm sorry. No, I'll.
So you guys got into some trouble. It sounds like, or I mean, some found some issues. Obviously, not too much trouble. You guys are still here.
Do you ever feed a frog bats?
Oh yes, of course. It's their favorite.
Wow. Was not
I used
expecting
to-
that answer.
I used to, large frogs. They like rodents like that. You throw them bats, rats. Cats.
Cats?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And by now, I'd say you guys are like starting to make your way into the Jolly Dwarf. It's not a large,
So-
like a enormous settlement.
And
I
as
did
we walked in, but I kicked him right in his mouth.
I did want to say, like when they left, I think Haganar would definitely try to have a conversation with Atlas and see if he can figure out where he's at with Proteus. Has he, gotten any better? What's he thinking? Kind of try to pick his brain since it's just the two of us.
Then, yeah, I mean, I guess like it's pretty much a straight like. So how you doing about Proteus? He'd probably just be like, well, I meant what I said. It's still pretty uneasy. I don't know if we can trust him. These shape-shifting types. He might seem weak. He might seem small, but it could all be a ploy for something bigger. Who knows? Maybe he is just some sort of well-intentioned, too well-intentioned, if you ask me, little thing, and he does just want to try to save the day, but I don't know. When you spend so long in this line of work, it's hard to just trust someone, especially one that you can never truly know.
So, yeah, I definitely don't want to keep this going too long. So I think he's just gonna say
It's a role-playing
something.
game. Play your role. We're not on some
Mhm.
sort of
Yeah.
the one shots. Yeah, get out of one shot mode. Sorry, let's get out of
Yeah.
one shot mode because obviously you don't want to spend the entire time in a one shot. With this is multiple sessions. You're good, dude. Character development.
I think you definitely agree with him to a sense. Something along the lines of, well, if he does turn out to be any kind of something bad or whatever the case may be, I definitely want to let Atlas know that I got his back. And I don't know. I don't think that's what it's going to come down to. But if you need my help, I'm there for you. And also, might be some kind of reward if he turns out to be some kind of big baddie or something.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There's an upside to everything, isn't there? But it's good to hear you've got my back. You're
Thunder buddies for life, man.
Thunder buddies for life. and I'll go in for the fist bump.
Fist bump, yes.
This is kind of just a brief moment before they actually walk in. There are also in this room where you guys went and sat down for your drinks. Like the front area as you walked in was just kind of like the tap room. There's kegs and everything like that where we got shelves with the mugs and pitchers and whatever. And then the tables are in a room off to the right as you walk in. While you guys are sitting in there, you do see two human males, and I guess this might have fucking been pertinent information for before, because it wasn't an empty room. But yeah, there's two human males just kind of talking back and forth. They're kind of sitting across from each other on one of the tables, and then there are two female tiefling children, one blue, one red, and they're kind of just playing in the corner, very young children. And you guys saw them as you walked in, kind of still worn out from like, oh man, this was exhausting. And then Mara and Proteus left, and you guys started talking. And a little bit before they make their way back into the Jolly Dwarf, you kind of feel like a tug on one of your cloaks, Haganar. And when you look, it's the small red tiefling, and she just kind of like giggles and runs off, and like starts whispering to the blue one, and they're just kind of playing, and they look not like the humans, so they seemed less afraid of you guys. Like, oh, okay, and just being silly and everything like that, and it's like, uh, Honor, don't play with the strange men. Don't bother them. They look tired. And then that's kind of as Proteus, Mara, and Elro are walking in, and Elro kind of just gives a chuckle. He's just like, gotta love kids.
I
Just
do love
make
kids.
life seem much more simple sometimes.
Mara just throws like a dirty glance at these children, like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know how Haganar would have took that that comment. He definitely throws a look, and he's debating at this moment right now.
Like watching you guys, it was basically like parents like, hey, just stop fucking around.
No, it was the strange men thing. It was the strange men thing. Don't mess with those strange men.
Would I have seen the kids running around like when I got in, like
Mhm.
going over to Haganar?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, cool. I think Proteus would kind of like run over, like not like run over, like creepily run over, but like run over and like kneel down and be like, "Hey, what's your name?"
Shit.
What's your name?
It's like kind of looks real shy, and again he's like, Honor, I told you to. Oh, there are more of you. I'm sorry about her.
No, you're fine. No, I love children. Remind me
Yes,
of
they're quite a
simpler
handful.
times and better times.
And he just kind of beckons them. Come on, come over here. It looks like they're busy. And
Right.
motions his children. They're just like, oh, okay. And they go and like sit down, and you know how kids are. Like they sit down next to each other on the bench, and they're shoving each other, doing this. Stop! No.
Proteus just smiles a lot. That's all. We're good.
So and then Elro is like, what's going on? I see that you're back. Obviously, your friends came to get me, and he's look a little. I mean, how did it go?
Well, we found what's causing your big freeze. So there's that.
Let's go over. And he kind of motions you guys toward the corner of the room where the tables are. He's like, we need to figure out more information before we talk too much around people. We don't know who's in. We don't want to scare anybody yet.
Right.
So yeah, guys. He motions you like, let's go over here. Sits into a corner. The cause. What do you think? What do you think it is?
I'm gonna die.
I mean, yeah. No, me too. We all are at some point. But discovering one's mortality is a good thing.
No,
It's
I'm going to
okay.
freeze to death.
No, what Proteus means
Like-
is that the source of your problem is a fine blue powder from a vial that was Aoran, and he may have inhaled some of it, but we don't know that means that he's going to die for sure.
Now, why would you go and do that?
We should probably be working on a cure, though.
There were dragon's eyes, and it puffed up, and it was all over my face.
Hey,
And then the
calm
thief
down.
died, and I threw him in the frog's mouth, and I killed him. And
And now you kind of get the other two were like looking at you. Not like they kind of stopped their conversation for a second. Like they go back to whatever book is in front of them, whatever conversation they were having. No,
I guess this is part that I
slow
shut up.
down. What? You inhaled? Okay. Is there anything you need from me? Is there anything else you got for me? I must go do some research. You said it was
we
blue
know
powder
the
in a
guy.
vial.
We know that a guy called Irvin Lyle has this vial with the rest of the powder in it. So you probably want to keep an eye out for that dude.
I'm going to write a song about him, Irvin Lyle with the vial.
And he looks over at the two guys that are sitting at the other table, and he's just like, let's go back to my yurt, all of us, please, now.
Before we do you guys think it would be appropriate for me to find a change of clothes?
Yeah, I mean, the general store, the not Pelk's, the not Curiosity shop, the general store in town should have clothing, warmer clothing, actually, if all of you would like any. I don't know how well you fare in this area.
I don't know where the powder is on me. I'm afraid to contact it with anyone else.
I'll get you some clothes. Don't touch anything.
Anything similar to this?
Hey, and then he looks over to the two humans and to the tiefling. So the tap house is closing early tonight. If you have a room upstairs, go ahead and get to sleep. We're gonna have to do some mandatory cleaning. And they're just kind of like, oh, this is unexpected. Sure. Can I ask why? Oh, there will be a meeting tomorrow about it. No worries. Not a reason to have any sort of concern. Just taking care of the cleanliness of this place. And through some puzzled looks, not necessarily just taking what he's saying and blindly believing it. They're just kind of like, okay, all right. Start whispering, I wonder what that's about. Like, they get up and go, and one of them even, like, they leave money on their table, and one of them even goes up to the bartender, and he's just kind of like... but yeah, they were the only other ones in the room, and Elro's just like, okay, Proteus, yeah, you stay right here. And so he's gonna basically, for lack of brevity, gonna get you some new clothes, like run to the general store. Like, he's panicked as soon as you had mentioned, I don't know how much of this is on my clothes. He's like, oh shit. So he'll bring new clothes, and basically he's just like, okay, we'll leave you alone for a moment to change if you'd like, but then we're going to dispose of that outfit 100%.
Even
I see you got rid of that god awful feather too. I wonder what happened with that.
Because Proteus gave it to me is tied around my the little sheath that I keep my short sword in has they're always tied with like a little like string, I guess, and so I tied the feather into that. I thought it matched nicely.
It's gone. That's all that matters.
All right. So yeah, he, you do that. Everyone
Even the hat.
averts their gaze and everything. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Right.
I don't want to take any chances.
Right. Yeah, I think he'd just get changed, and he'd fold up his clothes real nicely and put them all down. But he would definitely lay the hat like on top, like almost like a little shrine to it,
Okay.
Means a lot to him.
So he's essentially going to call a guard. Hey, get a cleric over here, and post outside of the tavern. Just let everyone know that the tap house is closed. If they have a room, they can go. but other than that, no more drinks for the night. And the guard's just like, oh, right away goes and finds a cleric. So a cleric comes through, and he's not understanding. He's like, what do you want me to do? I'm not gonna sit here and have a conversation with myself. he Elro instructs him. I need something done with these. I need them gotten rid of. We don't know if there's anything that could help. Oh gosh, how do I word this? If there's anything related to this new ailment, we just don't want to take any chances. And so the cleric kind of looks a little nervous about it, and wearing gloves, honestly, anyways, because it's super cold where they're at. So the cold weather gear includes some thick leather gloves with probably some fur on the inside. And he looks and he's like, oh, please, please, please. And he like grabs the stuff and basically just runs out. Like, not runs, obviously. And a power walks out, and he's just like looking unsure and nervous and really understand. But of course, we don't need this thing to spread, and burning these clothes will help, apparently. Whatever. Kind of not, the whole town's not, like I said, very super familiar with ailment, with this frigid woe. They just know that something got a hold of Ergen, some sickness got a hold of Ergenwenth and turned him into a ice statue. So there's just, a lot of confusion in everyone's face, especially when they have to do something that could be potentially related to this sickness. You changed clothes. The people went upstairs. Elro is still in the tap room or tap house with you guys.
About what time is it right now? Because I know we set out to go to Crooker Cave, I think morning-ish.
I'd say by now it's probably getting to early evening time. Through traveling, fighting, talking, everything that you guys have done so far probably puts you at evening time. It wasn't a very far walk.
Okay. I was going to say something now. I can't remember.
All right. So, Elro, Irvin Lyle. Have you ever heard that name?
Yeah. That's the merchant that was just sitting there with his family.
What?
You mean just now?
Just now.
All right. Okay. So, we can't let him leave.
No, of course not.
And you realize that he is possibly one of the most dangerous people in this town right now. Whether he knows it or not.
We need to find a way to talk to him. Yes, also that's true. We need to find a way to talk to him without, scaring him, alerting him, or scaring him to death. Causing panic or anything like that. We need to. Are any of you, better at talking with people and one another? I just basically have my stance of my leadership position. I really don't have the actual people skills, for lack of a better term.
Would you be able to convince him to come down here? I feel like he'd be less alarmed if you knocked on his door than one of us.
I can do that. I can ask him to come down here and speak for a few minutes.
See, normally I would suggest Proteus, but I feel like that's not the best choice right now.
I can keep it together if I need to.
Can you though?
I can. I can slip into an act well better than you think. No,
You're
not
not
to worry,
gonna-
you Atlas.
Does he's as he said that he starts to walk up the stairs as you guys are, and he comes back. About a moment later, a minute later or so, with Irvin. He's just a pretty plain-looking human male. He's just got some shaggy brown hair, blue eyes, no scars or tattoos. About 6 feet tall. Just your average-looking human, and it looks like he's putting kind of like a jacket back on, like he had been about to relax or something up in his room. Yes, Elro said you wanted to speak with me?
Yes. Your name is Irvin?
Oh, Irvin, of course. Where are my manners?
I'm
He
Proteus.
extends a hand.
And he'll shake his hand. My companions here, Mara, Atlas, and Haganar.
He's just gonna grunt.
We are the protectors of Pale Bank.
Yes, it's rather interesting to meet you folk. What would you need with a mere book merchant?
Well, one, I'm quite interested in your wares, but besides that, I'd like to know. We've received a good word from a source that you've come in contact and procured a very interesting substance, just a vial of something.
Oh yes. Where did you hear about that? I plan to. It's pretty nice. An Aoran relic. I'm going to. We're actually heading out of Palebank pretty soon. To head to Uthadern. We're going to start our own shop. My husband and I.
That would be awesome. Yes, that actually is a great idea. But do you have that with you?
I mean, not on my person right at this moment. Would you
Could
like me to go get it? What
Yeah,
are you trying to buy it? What is it?
We're very interested in it.
Okay. And he'll kind of walk back up, and he has it like in a little satchel. He brings his satchel out. This is fine. It's kind of cracked, so be careful with it.
Sure.
And he opens up his satchel and he kind of shows you, because you guys are still new people, so he's not just gonna be like, here, take my thing, try to save a bunch of money. So he's just like, yeah, it's deep blue. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I've never held a relic of such antiquity before. We're also a bit of collectors, if you will. But mainly, I'd like to see it just so I can know, maybe help you figure out what it's worth and maybe find you a good sale. Because as I said, I'm quite interested in your wares.
While this is going on, Haganar's definitely gonna keep an eye out on his body language. Like, definitely try to make sure if he senses any kind of I gotta get out of here thing, then he'll be ready to not let him do that.
Okay, go ahead and roll an insight check. And then I'm just going to remember that your number.
Don't worry about it. That's a 9 total, 4 or 5 on the die.
Okay. So he's just like, yeah, I mean, he tries to even like push the bottom of the satchel up a little bit to prop it. Like, yeah, no offense. I just met you guys. I have heard, a shop was broken into. Maybe you're investigating it. I don't know, but Forgive me
Elro,
if
that
I'm
was-
not quick to trust people I just met.
Sure. Well, you know
This
Elro
could be
here.
worth a lot of money.
You do know Elro, and we are
Of course.
trusted. We are trusted by him to investigate everything, but we are also collectors, which is why we cleared this room out. We take interest in different artifacts. I mean,
Roll a persuasion check for me.
sure. Persuasion is 14.
Like, I don't know. I mean, we don't. It doesn't have to be right here to talk about it. We can talk.
Right?
I
No,
mean-
absolutely. I'd love to hold a relic as such. I mean, especially if I'm going to buy it.
He kind of looks at Elro and okay, and just basically like pulls out the vial. And is like not super ginger with it. I mean, it's already cracked. A little bit of it's kind of spilled out, and he like does this, make sure that none of it spills. He's like, I don't want to lose any more.
Right. Absolutely. Here, and I'll kind of pull up a cloth, like whatever I can to kind of grab it,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Distort
Wait.
Value on it.
Huh?
I'm going to cast Distort Value on it,
Okay.
which you cast a spell on an object no more than 1 foot on a side, doubling the object's perceived value by adding illusory flourishes, polishes to it, or reducing its perceived value by half with the help of illusory scratches, dents, and other unsightly features.
All right. And is that going to be? So, what are the components for that? Are there any verbal?
It's just
or,
verbal.
Somatic. I mean.
Just verbal.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I'm just gonna say, like, don't you see how broken it is?
Oh, and then did you say he has to make a save or anything?
Nope.
It just makes it look
It
less
it
valuable.
just makes it look less valuable. Yeah.
Okay.
You need to squeeze a few more gold pieces out of immersion as you try to sell that weird octopus statue. That's literally what the spell starts out with.
All right. Well, I mean, to be honest, I did only pay 100. It's a steal.
That is a steal.
I feel like I could get much more than that in Uthadurn, and they're always paying big money for relics from Isilcraft.
Yeah. If anything makes it back, I mean, look, it's already broken. I want to gather it, save the shards. We could probably make some sort of art out of it. It's kind of my thing. And probably I'll turn it into something even better. But as it sits, it's no more than a piece of glass.
Oh, well. I mean, it is broken. If I can just get my money back for it, then that'll be fine. Make back what I paid. Because I was planning to sell this for 1,000.
1,000. You were way overshooting, but making your money back? Elro, I think as a collector yourself, that's something we could come up with, right?
100 gold? Is that what you're asking?
Mhm.
Like you're asking Elro can come up with that? And he's like, yeah, I could send word to. Of course, yes.
Yeah. Sure, sold. 100 gold.
It's just like, well, I guess that wouldn't put me at any sort of loss. The idea of being able to open up a shop in Uthadurn for family, could settle in, finally quit traveling. People can travel with us. It was
It's
just
a
great,
prospect.
of course. I
Here.
just got so excited.
Take these magic arrows.
I mean, I sell books, but I suppose I could. Okay, thank you.
And I'll give him two arrows and just pull them out of
Two.
the quiver. Yeah.
He's just.
Okay.
And you could tell that he's not trained in fighting really at all. So like even the way that he handles, he's just like, Huh?
They'll make you
They're
some money.
magic. They're magic, you say?
Trust me. Yes.
And Elro, he sent, or actually Elro himself went back to his yurt and comes back, and he's like begrudgingly giving this 100 gold to this dude. You could tell on his face, he's just like, it's for the safety of the town. It's for the safety of the town. It's for the. So yeah, and he's like, was that all you folk needed from me?
Yeah. Let me take this to a safer place, and I'll actually be interested in your books as well.
I mean, I don't have my setup. It's all packed away right now. We were just coming here to hopefully make find some items to sell in Uthadern. To set up.
Well,
Leave me a name of a good
actually,
breed.
now that you mention that, do you sell books or do you also sell scrolls?
Mostly just novels, adventure, romantic.
Have you
Really
have you ever
romantic.
come across Have you ever come across any maps?
I mean, of course, I have the map of the empire, the Dwendalian Empire. It's just kind of the main portion of the
Never mind.
like the area of the continent that you guys are in, like further to the south, is where the Dwendalian Empire.
Seems pretty useless.
I mean, this is just my personal. We've used it to kind of travel around and mark where we've been over the last few months, how business went. In this color, the circle means, the green circle. That means it was a good sale, and he's like trying to explain to you, and he's kind of excited for some reason about showing you this map, and like this place, they didn't really like the romance novels very much. Elro's just like, thank you, Irvin. Yes, of course, and heads back to his room.
We need to get rid of this now.
Yeah, what do you?
What?
I don't know. I'm the only one that's touched it. I figured I should touch it. We need to get rid of it now.
We do need to get rid of it, and you were right in that you've touched it already, so touching it again probably isn't going to make anything worse, but I don't think we need to get rid of it. Because if we destroy this thing, you die.
So I should take more? What? Why?
No, what I think we need is maybe a cleric, maybe a scientist even.
Oh, yes, I agree. I just don't want to hold
a
this
magic
anymore.
user. Well, then wrap it up in the cloth. It's not going to get any worse.
Did he happen to leave that
Actually,
satchel?
you know what? Put it in here.
Yeah, the satchel. It was like around him, kind of like the. What is it? Like one of the zipper bags, the over the shoulder zipper bags. No, fanny pack clips to your waist.
Okay. Oh, like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, over the shoulder bag type of deal.
It's a satchel. No,
Yeah,
it's a purse.
But yeah, he just had like a small satchel that was in it, and he like picked it up and handed it to him.
We can this guy off. He's probably gonna die as well. That's concerning.
So Elro goes, that was the 100 gold that I promised to you guys. I didn't have anything else. I don't have anything else.
You better find some, bud.
Elro, I killed a man today, and I suggest you hold your hands out now or cough up some gold.
Hold your hands out?
Are you sure about this? Because you can either provide the gold, or I'm dumping this all over you.
Oh, you're really threatening me right now?
No, hey, listen.
Really?
Listen, he's had.
I'm a
rough
little on
day.
edge. I'm a little on edge right now. I'm holding
Frigid?
Death's fucking kiss
Frigid?
in my hand.
I
I'm sorry.
would like to ask for that. I would like to ask for that. And he like takes out like another kind of like cloth deal that was like in his cloak, like bandana sized cloth, not like a giant towel that he's pulling out or anything like that. But
Can I make a quick look to see if I see the tavern owner standing like at the bar or anything?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just
Go
like-
ahead and roll perception. Like he's there, I guess. Or are you just trying to look to see like what he's doing?
I'm just trying to see if he's
find
just
a facial
listening
expression.
to us. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's most definitely there. He's kind of like it's a room away. Like he's not going to be able to hear you guys super well, and so maybe he's like even leaning in a little. You've been
So you
cleaning
probably
that
heard the
same
me
spot.
yelling about Death's kiss thing. I definitely feel that.
Yeah, but you know, mercenaries come here a lot, like we had learned in the first episode. When you guys were shaking down Tulgi, guys are like, "What's going on?" And Atlas was like, "Oh, business." And I was like, "Oh, all right."
Right on.
One of them at least was like, "Oh yeah, all right, cool. I've been there."
I'm there.
I'm there.
I almost said that, yeah. But so he's not really, and obviously Elro's still like he's the leader of the village. So if he's still kind of calm, he's not like freaking out or anything like that. So the tavern owner's just kind of like, wonder what's going on over there.
Okay. Yeah. And he'll just like let him wrap it up in that.
Yes. I'm going to contact Uthadern tonight. Absolutely. I will get
Who's
back
gonna
to you.
bathe that man?
I think it might be a little late for that.
I mean, he's gonna kill his own children.
Not necessarily. We haven't seen
He may not have
it.
let anyone else touch it.
Yeah, that's
His
so
hand
obvious.
was.
Go ahead.
You weren't worried about being infected until you said you were encased by this blue powder. It poofed out into the air. What did you do to cause that? Is there something that if I disturb this, will it do the same, or? Because as far as now, I feel like as long as we can prevent it from leaking and draining over everyone or anyone that touches it, then hopefully it'll help prevent a cure or prevent more infections.
Well, if we're being honest, I made a hostage. Try to open a treasure chest, in which was locked, and when the lock was picked, it sprayed this blue powder in the air.
Of course. Well, you don't think this man would have just thrown powder at his family, do you? I feel like as long as he didn't do that, we have the chances of them not having to worry about contracting this would be a little better.
No, but he goes upstairs as children are misbehaving. He smacks one. You never know.
Oh, so you smack kids now?
I would smack a lot as a child.
I didn't actually ask that.
You want to know how I got these scars?
This is what you get when you spill paint in the garage.
So Elro is just kind of like, if you want to further investigate that, you can. I need to do some research on this. I need to figure out if we know anything further about this besides the fact that it caused what happened to Ergen.
If you're not worried, I'm not worried. That's fine. How about new gloves?
Yes. Just speak with the man at the general store and let him know that Elro has personally requested that all of you be outfitted with warm weather or cold weather clothing. None of you really look like you're super prepared for this area, and I don't know how much longer you'll be here. So if it's going to be anything longer than a few more days, why not be warm?
I agree. I'd love to be warm.
I was gonna say something again and I forgot. Good lord.
Thank you for announcing that.
Yeah. Because I just said and I was getting ready to say something and then it just all of a sudden just poof.
Poof.
Awesome.
It wasn't there, man.
He wasn't there.
So when Elro leaves, the rest of the evening is yours. He's going to be doing research, communicating with, his leadership or whatever, back in Uthadern.
Did
Hit him
he
up
already?
on FaceTime pretty much, just like, hey, yeah, no, it's me again. I'm here. I'm off. They came and got me. No.
Did he already leave? Because now that you said Elro, I remember what I was gonna say.
What you got?
I was gonna make a comment about when he contacts whoever he's gonna contact. Make sure you tell him to send 100 more gold that way. Because
Yes, of course. Believe me, that's why I tried to not give this man the money, because I promised this money to you, but this is all the same cause. I figure we could figure something out. Believe me, there was no malicious intent.
it's okay. It's okay. Just we know where you live. So
Could we keep the things if we find anything that was stolen from Pelk's Curiosities? Could we keep them?
Yes, of course. I believe I told you I no longer am interested in anything involving this whole situation, but this right here is something that could potentially, if we learn more about it, solve the situation, and this is all I'm interested in at this point.
Good. That's great news.
Please. I mean, it came from Ergen, and if whatever items you found, you had mentioned he was robbed or something. Whatever items of his that you found, if they are going to help you in this process of figuring out the cure to this, if there is any, then by all means, yes, everything that you found, I have no need for.
I love how Proteus asked that after he gave away 2 of the arrows that were stolen from Duck's
Hey,
Curiosity.
skewed logic, man. Skewed logic. But he's just trying to justify it.
It's great. It's great. I like it. It's fine.
He's trying
Yeah,
to
so
back
now-
justify it.
Elro, he leaves for the night. He's like, I'll be with you first thing in the morning. I will. We'll sit down again, and hopefully I have a lot more information than I do now. And then he heads off. So the rest of the night is your guys's. The tavern, the barkeep, kind of behind the bar as Elro walks out. He's like, yeah, have a good night, Elro. And there's just no response, and he's just like, I wonder what's got his britches in a bunch.
I'm gonna go
Alright,
straight up to the barkeep and I'm gonna be like, all right, rack him up, mate. I need some shots and I need some snacks.
Yeah, I'd say that now that Elro's gone, Atlas would probably be like to Proteus, kid, I really appreciate you just trying to, make sure we all get paid here, but for someone always talking about, how money is and everything and how we have to do the right thing, you did jump straight to trying to kill the mayor of a town.
This has been a very stressful experience for me. Listen, I have a lot of stories for you, and Atlas, listen, man, you remind me of a woman I once knew who guided me a lot, and I just want you to know that I trust you, man, and what happened there was I felt this was valuable to you, this was important to you, the money, so I want to stand up for my friends, my allies.
It is, but remember, I'm trying to trust you, so it's hard when I might get the idea that you could change your values as easily as you can change your face,
I mean, I wasn't going to actually kill him. It was just an idle threat.
I'm gonna look over at Proteus and be like, "New clothes, new you, huh?"
I'm slightly warmer, I suppose, yes.
Well,
So throughout the time that you guys have gotten back from Cave and everything like that, I don't know how much, Proteus would be paying attention or anything to like, oh man, they're gonna turn into ice. Like, do I feel colder? I think I feel colder. Like, I don't know if he'd be
I
going
think
through
it'd be
anything
one
like
of
that.
those thoughts like that would come up randomly, like as you like you're just like trying to forget something, and then all of a sudden just whoa, but what about?
Mhm. So it's really if there like might have been a breeze or something that came, like someone. Excuse me. Like when Elro left or something, maybe a breeze came in the door and gave you the chills for a second. You're like, this is it. I'm gonna die. But other than small, screwing your own mind up type of scenarios like that, you haven't felt any, colder. You haven't felt, um, but it also, any colder, any different, something like that. You're not trembling due to temperature. Maybe if you had a little anxiety or anything during the talking, but no like physical tremble of being cold, nothing like that. But it's been not that long. No one really knows too much about all this. Just want to give you a little update because I kind of left you in the dark so far.
Yeah, so, how long do you guys think I have left?
A couple hours, maybe.
Right.
Well, you're not turned blue yet.
Yeah, and if you guys like
Be
even took
dramatic,
a
but
couple
this
seconds to inspect, like,
this seems to kind of like set in over.
yeah, it doesn't like he doesn't have the icy blue veins or anything going up his neck yet, up his arms or nothing like that. What you got?
At
Mara
one
would
point, like
notice that he's not been affected yet, but she would just keep playing along with it. Like, man, you've probably only got about 12 hours left. Like, you better get to work on this cure fast.
Like, I think stuff would be happening. He'd be sitting there, like, take a drink, and then, like, as the ice cubes hit his mouth, he'd go, like, oh, it is quite cold. And then I think he'd, like, try to turn his lips blue for a second, just to, like, psych someone out, using
Okay.
his shapeshifting ability.
So I would just, if roll a deception check. So then, if anyone, like, looking, type of deal, I'll have an insight going, just to keep. Message it to me though. Don't tell me over voice what your.
You said
deception.
deception?
Yeah. Yeah, he does this. He takes a drink and says that he's like, I feel a little colder, and his lips are a little blue. If anyone cares to look or anything like that, you can roll an insight. If not, just go about whatever it was that you were already doing.
I feel like since we're at the bar, Atlas would just be going to town on his drink, honestly.
And so the other family ends up coming back down, Irvin and his family, because he went back up and was just like, okay, well, they cleared the room to buy that artifact from me. And you can see his husband, like, not pissed, but just like maybe not the happiest with him. Like, I didn't even consult me, just like there's tension between the two of them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Honor and her. Did I say she was the red one or the blue one? Gosh dang it, I can't remember.
Honor was the red one.
Okay, the red one. So yeah, Honor and her sister, the blue one, which you haven't learned their name or anything like that. They come back down and, they're still kind of playing with each other or whatever, running around the room or anything like that. But they come back down and you guys get your food and Proteus turns his lips blue. You guys got the rest of the evening. Elro said that he's going to meet up with you guys here in the morning, or no, at his place in the morning.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I think Haganar is definitely gonna want to go to bed. He's tired. He wants to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for Mara. She's just kind of like hide my fear,
Mhm.
drunk away a little bit of this pain. I'm gonna just
Yep.
head to bed.
I'm also
Not
gonna say as
meditating.
I'm also gonna say as I'm getting ready to walk out to Proteus, I'm gonna pat him on the back and say, see you in the morning, Popsicle Man."
Thanks, friend.
Hey, just let me know if you're gonna freeze to death in the middle of the night so I can have my necklace back. All right.
Atlas, do you want to spend the last few hours of my life with me?
I think I have a nice long night ahead of me in my bed, alone.
Actually, you know what? And Elro also, along with the warmer clothing, he at the same time would have told you that he can get 2 rooms covered for you guys for tonight, if you would like, rather than sleeping in the inn, rather than sleeping in like a abandoned campsite, from someone who went on an expedition who may or may not. So if you guys are up for it, you get a free stay, get 2 rooms in the tavern upstairs.
Hey, bartender.
Yeah, how's it going?
How much is it?
He's
How
still
much is
just
a night
he's
here?
wiping a hole in this bar right here. He hasn't moved since you guys.
How much is a night here? Like for the rooms Elro covered.
I mean, not much. Just a silver apiece, or
Wow.
a silver per room.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not your most lavish place, but it'll do. It'll keep you
Ah.
warm from the wind.
How many more rooms do you have available?
Oh, with the 2 that Elro had us compliment to you. Maybe 1 more that's unoccupied.
Atlas, we could bunk.
I'm gonna flip him 2 silver, an extra silver for that room or whatever. Tell Proteus he can have that room.
Okay, 1 to myself.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I figured you'd want to spend your last night on
All alone, like I've spent
Yeah,
most of my life. Yeah.
reflecting,
Right.
No,
Yeah, you got a lot to
after
think
the
about.
after the frigid woe takes hold and takes his life, then he'll be reflecting because like glass or the ice kind of
You'll
like
be
glass,
able to see yourself in them.
Yeah. Jeez, Haganar, don't you know it? No.
No, Haganar's pretty
But yeah,
Wacky.
unless you guys want anything else, could bed down for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Proteus wouldn't really sleep. Probably just play his violin throughout the night.
Yeah.
Keep it down, asshole.
You just hear Proteus in his room.
Somber music.
Then he gets to a rough spot, starts playing a solo, starts shredding.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyone need to take a break? Because I do.
All right.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
good spot for a break.
Yeah, it's break time.
Perfect.
Cool.
Break time.
Back. You guys have been hearing that from me a lot. You will be able to hear Brian's beautiful voice again next week, I believe, at least once, from behind the DM screen. But yeah, we're returning now. Our players are going to be waking up or watching the sunrise, one of the 2, depending on how well they slept last night. After returning from Croaker Cave, speaking with Elro and finding out that a gentleman from the Dwendalian Empire traveled up here, looking for relics to sell, and came across what he thought was a pretty expensive relic, which ended up being a vial that Julil sold to him, a broken vial, which you can only assume at least he is infected. This man also has a family. Excuse me, sorry. Awful timing to take a drink.
That man has a family.
Man
This
also
man
has a
has a
family. He has
family.
a family that consists of a husband who is another human, and two what you can only assume are adopted children, two tiefling daughters, probably human equivalent, similar to, I'd say, 5-6 year old, like temperament and attitude. But yeah, so you actually, through some clever means, in my opinion, acquired this broken vial, and Elro, that's right, Elro had been there the entire time too. You guys actually started reporting back to him and realized that one of the gentlemen behind you were the guy that Julio had spoke about. So Elro and you guys talked and were able to get the vial from this man without causing any sort of panic. I guess any sort of panic for him and his family. You guys are a little nervous now, knowing that there's another person that could be infected with this, as well as Proteus. So Proteus actually disposed of his clothing, and some more interesting conversations ensued. But if you're watching this recap, you probably watched the first half, so I won't bore you too much. So yeah, players are waking up the next morning, and we're told or asked by Elro to meet him at his yurt in the morning.
Long rest.
Yes. Yeah, my bad about that. Yeah, everyone gets the benefits of a long rest as long as you slept or did something non-strenuous for 8
Right.
hours. But I feel like sleep would be pretty important.
Yeah. Would it get colder through the night? Just out of curiosity. Besides-
Yeah. Naturally, the temperature would drop a little bit through the night. Not
No.
drastically,
Would
but
Proteus get colder through the night?
of course. Oh, I feel like he would be hyper aware of any sort of temperature change at all. Just, like,
I don't like.
movie reference. I can't remember the title, but they have the Sleepover Bandits, and one of them's played by Billy Bob Thornton, and he's just basically a hypochondriac. He hears about a disease or an illness, and he just thinks about it to the point where he believes he has it. It's hilarious, but I think the movie's actually just called Bandits. But either way, that's the kind of attitude you probably had when you noticed any sort of temperature drop. You're like, oh, well, this is it, and everyone just abandoned me. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, frozen block of changeling
Dead.
ice, frozen block of dead. But yeah, everyone wakes up just fine the next morning. Proteus, you don't feel any different physically. Not saying you don't benefit from a long rest, but like as far as ailments, you don't physically feel any different.
Oh, another day. No hat.
So you all kind of end up congregating, probably at different times in the morning. I'm not sure. Maybe Atlas and Haganar, seeing as they probably ate the most, they might have the fuller bellies. They probably got a little bit better of a rest. Proteus probably got just the bare minimum to feel rested, I would assume. I don't know about Mara. She probably did all right. No restfulness.
I meditate because I'm a drow and a monk, so I've just had like, I don't know, a big long meditation sesh, I guess.
Okay, cool. And one after another, make your way downstairs, and you guys can do whatever you want here. You guys can head to Elro's tent. Haganar, actually, while he was sleeping last night, learned the ability of invisibility. If no one knew that.
Looks like
never mind.
He went
it
back
failed.
to bed.
He's back.
First thing I'm gonna do in the morning before I head to to what's his name, Elrose yet, is I'm going to gather up all of my belongings and make sure that anything valuable, if I can't wear it, is really, really, really secure.
In
So, like,
the
the
room,
ring I'm
or
wearing, all of my stuff. So, like, no on me. I don't
okay,
trust
just like in a bag, one way or another.
anyone in this
Okay,
town. Yeah.
okay. I'd say you wouldn't have an issue because you just had the ring and like that scroll case, right? Other than money.
And the dagger, I think.
Oh, right.
Going back in mind, I've got that gilded dagger, I'm pretty sure, unless I gave that to someone else.
No, I think you should still have that.
Yes, sick.
Yeah, so that's easy enough. Like put it on your belt or in your backpack, really, whatever you would like. Nothing would be too cumbersome. And then yeah, so everyone okay with heading to Elrose, or you got anything you guys want to do in the morning?
Nope.
Ready to
Okay,
make my way
just don't want.
Making
All
our
right,
way
making your way
downtown.
down village.
I'd assume we'd all
Oh my
get our warm
goodness!
clothes
What the
along the way.
heck?
Don't touch anything once you
Oh,
get it
actually,
working.
Elroy told us that we could acquire some like winter clothing from the
Yep.
general store.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys wanted to do that on the way or after, but
I was
yeah,
just saying,
it would be
assume on
you
the way.
probably pass the general store on the way to Elrose. You know, they're kind of just opening up the door and turning on the metaphorical open sign. You know, they're switching it to from closed to open, that type of deal. Town kind of seems to be getting running about the same time. Other little cart vendors are opening up their flaps, getting ready for the day.
Right on.
Pick up the winter clothes that we're allowed to take, but I'm not gonna wear them. I'm gonna they're too plain, they're too basic. I don't like them, but I'm gonna hold on to them because I reckon I'll be able to swap them with like some merchant who has something nice and fancy later.
Okay, and yeah, so when you guys get there and you know introduce yourselves, he's just like, oh yes, Elro told me you guys would be stopping by tonight. That's great. You know, so he has basically he passes out to each of you. Actually, with the exception of you, Proteus, you won't get the cloak. He's like, oh, you seem to already have a pretty heavy cloak there. But everyone gets outfitted with like a winter cloak, some thicker, you know, pants and jacket type of, or like shirt and pants, warm leather, like thick leather, fur-lined boots and gloves. Nothing that would so much add to any AC. Just strictly for warmth. If there's an article of it that you can't wear for one reason or another, due to your weapon or magic or whatever, then it's just one you won't get those. But as long as you have some sort of cold weather gear, I feel like that'll help, you know, dramatically.
Proteus would ask about his hat selection. For sure.
Yeah, I think I got some hats. All right, sure. Let me look in the back, and
Swell.
kind of opens what looks to be a closet, and like you can tell, it's tiny too. It's not even a big walk-in storeroom, and he kind of just looks and he goes, like grabs a couple. It's like, yeah, sure. And he's like wiping some dust off him, and he lays out a few hats on here. One is kind of just like your standard. It's just a cap with the ear flaps type of deal, fur lined.
Oh heavens, no.
And it's real like gray, bland looking. There's like gosh, I don't know. Best way I can think to describe it would be like a bucket hat, like a fishing hat, bucket hat type of deal. Sits on the head a little bit, and it's got like the flappy brim, but it's not a very like wide brim or anything like that. It's It's relatively thin, stays in closer to the head. Also fur lined. It's got a string coming down that hangs beneath your chin, and then another is just like your standard beanie, but kind of rougher material, made out of a hide, maybe with fur on the inside, just to kind of sit on your head and cover not all of your ears. It's not quite as effective as the one with the flaps, but he's like, yeah, I think these are all we got.
Right.
What do you think? He's kind of like,
I
yeah.
got him.
They're they're hideous. Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, well, good. They're special hats for special people, anyways. I don't know. I think they're great hats, but you'll come around. It's okay.
You're right. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna offer to sell these clothes that he just gave me back to him.
No, I'll take them back.
Well, they're mine. You gave them to me, so you can.
That's
you
not.
can buy them.
It's not. I don't. Well, we have a stock.
Well, fine. They're
Plenty of
special
stock.
clothes for special people, so you don't need them.
I'm anything but special, my friend. I'm just a merchant.
Oh, I know. And then I'm just gonna walk away.
So yeah, going to Elrose. So he's probably sitting expectantly, maybe out on his front porch, or maybe not for a porch for a yurt tent deal, but out front of his on his outside fire. That's not in a stove type of thing. It's just campfire deal, and he's sitting there. He's like, okay. I've been waiting. I just didn't want to bother you guys. You probably had a pretty rough day yesterday. I didn't want to hinder any sort of rest. But come in. And shows you guys in. Has a couple seats that look like they might belong to the Jolly Dwarf. He might have borrowed, expecting you guys. Have a seat. We have some things to talk about.
We do.
Yeah.
What have you found?
It's a little more dire than I thought.
No, it's well.
So, through my research, through speaking with my contacts back in Uthadurn, in the libraries and with some mages, there's only one known cure to this frigid woe that we can find. It looks like it might be in a similar location to where Ergen found it. It must be in one of the labs. They must have been able to access one of the labs in an Aoran crash site, because the only lore or the only information that we have on this frigid woe is it's all Aoran related. They also there are notes of like a golden milky like potion, milky consistency potion that it's the only thing that we could find that seems to have had any sort of effects. There have been scrolls showing notes that had to have been from the mages, the Aoran mages. It took many mages in Uthadurn to try to decipher this, but the best they can find is it was just kind of a contingency of one of their people studying this and trying to create this weaponized illness. If they were to contract it, this seemed to be the help. Is this potion is the only thing that we could find that would help. We don't have any names. It's just it's a golden milky, like a golden white milky potion. Also, I wanted to check in with Irvin this morning. It's not looking too good. He answered the door and just looked tired, and the veins that we noticed on Ergen, before he expired, those were present. I'm afraid that the most troubling portion of this is his husband and children are also infected.
I knew this would happen.
We can't let them leave, but time is of the essence here. We've got to try to locate these potions, this cure, and of course for you, Proteus, we don't know yet. How are you feeling this morning?
As cold as usual, but nothing more extreme.
Okay. Well,
would I be afflicted by now?
I'm not sure.
Maybe I've always had it.
Roughly, it says something about 60 days and nights is around the time that it seemed to grab hold of the workers through studying these notes. What I've been hearing through our mages and everything, studying these notes is the information the best that I could get. I don't know how long it takes to show. I don't know how long these people have even had this, but it's got to be coming from Isocross. Ergen found these things, and the dagger that you had showed me before, one of you, looked to be, fine crafted. He had to have found an Aoran lab somewhere. I was also able to procure money for you.
Yeah.
And he hands over a small pouch, and if you guys do go through it, it's got 200 gold in it. He's like, there's a little extra in there. I didn't plan to use your money yesterday. It was a spur of the moment thing. I didn't want to incite panic, especially with someone who's not actually from here, because he could run, he could try to seek help somewhere else, and who knows.
I'm gonna say well, thank you. But if you happen to find more, that's always nice too. Just keep that in mind. I'm not asking for more. For more.
Which I assume that would be the case. I can't fault you for your guys' motivations. Whatever it is, you guys are helping us, or you have been willing to help us so far. Which brings me to my next offer.
Yes.
What was that? No,
you about to give me more money?
I was able to make arrangements for travel on one of our ships here, the Remoraz, to Isocross. They set out tomorrow morning, and that is if you would be willing to go. I would be more than happy to get you some more money. I can talk with my leadership and tell them of the great deeds that you guys would be, doing for us and helping out this civilization, this town, and Uthadurn, really, on a bigger picture. We could give you each another 100 gold if you're able to help us with this.
Is that the earliest?
100 gold?
Each.
And we also get to keep whatever we find.
Yes, of course, just as long as you share the cure, if there even is one. That's all my concern at this point. What was that?
And I get cured. This too.
Yes. Do not be afraid to. That's you guys are putting your lives on the line.
Dude, that's literally unheard of.
We we need the cure, yes, but there's no sense in demanding the cure without you having some too. I just hope that there is a cure to begin with, and also enough to make a difference to help cure these people. I don't know if it's something that our mages would be able to reproduce, but I feel like curing the people first would be my main concern.
So is tomorrow the earliest that we can get there?
Yes, it's finding a crew willing to go, and the amount of glass blades to work there, be guard the people of the ship, obviously, because not all crew members we can find are trained in any sort of combat. There's probably some rough and tumble folk that just love the life at sea and the dangers that it can bring, but others are money driven, and if they have a skill that can get a ship places that'll get them money, they're willing to join the crew. So we obviously need protection. So there will be some glass blades, which you guys would know that glass blades are just like the title of the guard around in Pale Bank and Uthadern. They're kind of like not the military; it's like a volunteer-ish deal, but it is like supported by the government of Uthadern.
Okay.
But it's putting a crew together isn't always the easiest. So tomorrow is the earliest I could secure.
So is there anything else that you need from us until then? Is there anything else that you need us to do or want us to look into, or?
I mean, really, at this point, just make sure we don't spread seeds of chaos in this town, telling everybody that more people are sick. I'm going to do my part to talk with Irvin and his family, and I'm going to secure him some lodging that doesn't share walls with other patrons. A quarantine, if you will.
You might want to have a tailor make them some masks if they have to go out anywhere to.
I don't know if it's spread that way, but safety is at utmost importance. I'll do my part here.
We could be facing an international pandemic.
That's what I'm trying to prevent. It's it's a horrifying thought. Who knows how that would go? Okay.
Just watch out for the frogs. We were feeding them bats yesterday.
Yeah, I liked to go, play with the wildlife as a child, but these frogs, I never, giant frogs, they just never were my thing. But yeah, you guys, so basically you guys have the rest of the day to do whatever. If there's nothing in particular, obviously not gonna have a 24 hours of role play here.
Right. Yeah,
I'm gonna I want to go through the town and just scope out the merchants and see if there's anyone that's wearing winter clothes that's nice, or see if anyone around town, whether it's a merchant that's passing through or someone that lives there permanently, see if there's anybody that's got anything nice, because I've got a fair bit of gold now, and I like nice things. Jewelry, fancy clothes.
I'll also excuse me. Wow. I'll also offer up my the winter clothes that I received to her, because I know she said something about possibly trading them in, so maybe that'll help out a little bit. Haganar is very
appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, he's fine in any climate. He likes to be more natural than anything, I guess. The cold doesn't bother him, the heat doesn't bother him. He's just so
And deals with it.
yeah. He's not a little he's used to it, I'll just say that.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mara, after kind of walking around, it's not like I said, not a very big village. Going through, kind of looking at the general store, and then you don't really find too much other than what you guys saw, just like plain looking functional items rather than stylish. Um, you do find one of the cart merchants that has some some necklaces made out of not the finest of stones, not like gems or anything like that, but kind of mineral stones shaped into, like oval shape, like a, gosh, I can't think, not a sphere, but the other one. Egg shaped, but not eggs, that, whatever
oval.
that, oval, but 3D, basically. Kind of smaller shapes like that. Various, like some Claire's quality jewelry, like it looks like it's more than like it's got some flair to it. And then there are also, hanging up on the back, there are some nice scarves, colored scarves. There's like a vibrant red and a deep blue, a couple purple ones, and then up on, I'd say, the top row of it, there are some like sun hats, the best I can describe. Some hats that go and have a wide floppy brim. Look like they're made of maybe like a felt material on the outside. Not sure. Some of them have like gold trim around the outside. Some of them have nice intricate designs up on the cap portion of it. Almost like
The gold trim ones. What colors do the gold trimmed ones come in?
So again, they kind of stick with your basic colors, like your red, green, blue, maybe like purple, yellow, orange. Nothing too fancy, but they're pretty
Awesome.
bold.
gonna
They're bold
offer-
colors though of these.
I'm gonna offer the merchant my 2 sets, I guess, of winter clothing. Thank you to Haganar for the second set. And I'm gonna see if he will, I'm gonna see if he'll give me a trade rather than spending my own money.
Okay, yeah. So as you walk up and you're looking at all these, it's like, well, howdy there. See anything here that interests you? Looks like you got some plain looking things there. You might need some flair in your life.
You're completely right. You're completely correct. I couldn't help but notice some of your finer wares. I have with me 2 sets of winter clothes, fur-lined boots, thick woolen trousers and shirts, which I don't need, but I feel like we could help each other out here.
Well, that depends. What are you looking at? What do you think? It's all beautiful. They're the rarest stones, the rarest rocks that you could find.
I have an eye. See that bright ruby red floppy hat up there with the gold trim.
Yes, of course. Many people love this hat. It's just it's a little too rich for their blood. They want to spend their money on things like these thick monstrosities. I just don't understand it. That and weapons. Every now and then we get some people coming through here with a need for the finer things. I know this place has money running through it quite often. I won't pretend that I'm not here for that purpose.
Well, I feel like if what your customers come searching for is practical thick clothes, then I feel like I could offer a fair trade in exchange for one of these hats, which are so beautiful yet so impractical and probably a little bit unsellable in this climate.
Yes, well, it's not for function. That's for sure. But for this beautiful hat, I think I can get rid of these things. I'll take all of that nasty looking clothing off your hands for this hat.
All right, and that purple scarf that hangs just below it.
You know what?
What can I add to this?
I have plenty of those. You can take that complimentary for being so interested in the finer things. You have quite the eye, my lady.
I appreciate you doing business with me, good sir. Thank you.
He's just like, yes. And he kind of like grabs him from you pretty quick, not like ripping him out of your hands, but he's just like, all right, yeah, here you are. If that'll be all.
That is definitely all. I appreciate doing business.
Great, yes, me too. Come back another time.
Oh, trust me, I will. I'm gonna wrap the scarf around me straight away. It's purple. It complements everything that I have going on, so I'm stoked on that. And I'm gonna go and approach Proteus and try and kind of offer him the hat, because I've seen how upset he is and how worried he is about freezing to death. And maybe I know that it's not the same as your old hat, Proteus, and I know that it's got this little bit of gold and that it's probably got a wider brim, but I thought, seeing as you had to lose your old one, this might do for now.
Yeah, so it's got like some gold, stitching up around here, like I had mentioned before. The rim of it has a gold trim, gold colored trim to it, and there are a little bit of designs on the brim of it that are kind of like they kind of complement the floppiness of this hat, because it's essentially like, think of a suburban mom out gardening, right? That type of hat where it's just like, or maybe a funeral. You see sometimes the funeral hats that are like the floppy. It's kind of like one of those. So the stitching and everything, the designs on the brim kind of complement the waviness of it. And it's all gold, like gold colored stitching. And it's like not super thin, but it's definitely not something to keep you warm.
That would be lovely. I appreciate that. Yes, I'd love that. Yeah, I'll gladly take the hat. And but now I need to figure out what will match this. Where was this merchant at?
He had scarves, he had jewelry, and he had hats. I don't know if there's
did he have any
shirts.
coats?
Not that I could see. But I mean, if you like a scarf, and I'm gonna like flip the little like end of my purple scarf over my shoulder. If you like a scarf, it's got plenty of nice scarves.
So
that actually would serve a little bit of a warmth purpose, like obviously, again, not super thick, but it's better than a bare neck or like just a jacket collar kind of trying to protect it. So it would help a little bit with temperature, but again, more for fashion.
Sold. Yes. And I think we don't have to role play it out. I mean, he could.
Right. No, I was just getting. Were you going to try to barter with him? You're going to try to
no, I'll just buy
money,
the scarf, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So he goes. He mentions your hat. That's a nice hat. For you, for this beautiful scarf. Just a mere gold piece.
Sold.
All right. Tell your friends as you're like walking away.
Sure. Now, as far as Proteus, like in merchant section here, he would be looking for a physical weapon of some sort.
Okay, you could get like basic weapons at the general store, like with the adventuring gear, any of the simple weapons for the most part. I would say.
So any simple.
Yeah, you're simple and simple ranged. he would have available.
Okay, so could I?
For the other two of you as well, if you were looking for simple weapons, probably limited armor, probably not anything better than what you guys have for armor at least.
So nothing martial at all either.
Correct.
All right, so it'd be uneventful shopping.
Don't want any of it. It's worthless.
I don't want it.
Not necessarily.
Haganar, are you good too?
I'm gonna buy. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, cool. Well, if nothing else, we can fast forward this to the next morning. If you guys have no more goals for the day,
I'd be looking to see if what's his face will provide any potions.
Elro.
Yes. If not, he'd look to purchase one somewhere.
I'd say for that, just roll me a persuasion check. Like if you're just trying to talk to him, like, hey, I know you gave us those two, but you're asking us to go. Whatever your argument would be, just persuasion for it.
Right. Yeah, just generally like, hey man, could you hook us up again type deal. 10 plus 5, 15.
Okay. Yeah, basically he's in the mode of I can do, if I can do it, I'm gonna do it to help you guys. And he's able to give you one more potion. It's a greater healing potion. He's like, this is actually from my personal stash from when I was out hunting with my ranger party a little more often. I don't do that as much anymore.
Thank you.
I have no problems parting with it. So yeah, that's just one greater. And he's like, that's all I can offer as far as anything like that.
I'll hold on to this for us, guys, but I do have it if we need it.
Yeah. Better go to bed.
Anyone else? All right. Yeah. So you guys, spend the rest of your day, kind of whatever it is that you would do to pass time, bullshitting, drinking, eating, maybe playing cards or dice or something of that sort. I'm sure all of those things would be possible in the tavern. So yeah, we'll fast forward to the next morning. You guys wake up and meet at Elro's tent again, if you'd like, after like a breakfast, kind of getting a last meal before you go into wherever, not sure where. But yeah, as you're approaching Elro's tent, he's just like, okay, I'm really glad to see you guys. I didn't think that you would abandon this, but you're not directly involved with this town, so it's great to see that you're willing to stick your neck out for my people. We can go to the coast, the port, and get everything loaded up if you'd like. I can help with anything. Do you have anything else you guys have with you, or is it just you bringing what's on your person?
Just the essentials.
I don't know how you traveled here. Right,
Just what you see.
I'm kind of carrying everything with me. Anyway, I do that most of the time. Like, my character doesn't like to have too much stuff aside from what she can wear and carry.
Okay. All right, yeah, so he shows you over to the port, and you can see currently, like, there's the the plank or ramp or whatever that people would access, like, on foot to get up there, and then there's also kind of toward the back, there's a trapdoor, not trapdoor, hatch, whatever, on the back of the ship, kind of down from. Actually, it'd be about level with where the deck is that you could enter by foot, but then classic where the helm is a little bit higher up than the rest of the deck. So it looks like this hatch kind of gets stored underneath the helm and up there where the captain or whoever's steering the boat would be. And it's just people kind of loading crates. You got one dwarf on either side of a crate and kind of like going up this little ramp, putting crates in there, rolling barrels up the ramp. Some of them lose their balance a little bit and trying to regain it and roll it up the ramp and just getting ready. And he says, when you get there, please contact a man, Orvo. Oh gosh, dang it! Where's his name? Orvo Mustave. I'm sorry, Orvo Mustave. He's a dwarf who has gone on multiple expeditions with Ergen. I'm not too sure if he was included in this most previous one, but I know that they're pretty close. They've traveled together a lot. Other than that, I mean, actually, yeah. So meet with Orvo, and then once you find the cure, or I mean, I guess you could meet him beforehand. There's or meet them beforehand. There's a person there that goes by the name of the Buyer. They've been out there for pretty much the entirety of the small town that you guys will be docking at. They're the one that is responsible for transporting items and potential artifacts back to here or back to Earthadern via magic. That's kind of how we do a lot of the trading, how Earthadern gains its wealth through these artifacts, selling them. So the Buyer and Orvo Mustave are two people that I believe you should speak with a little bit, get some more information. But other than that, I wish you all my best.
Thank you.
And yeah, you guys get up on the ship. They finish loading up the remainder of the cargo that's going for the voyage, like probably some of its food. Some people might have their personal effects, because it looks like there is a 6-person crew, and then you have about 4 glass blades that are also there. And other than that, there does seem to be a couple people that are like merchants or people that have a couple bodyguards that look like lower level, not quite knights, but just like fighters wearing like some studded leather, maybe, like nothing spectacular. And you guys are even kind of like, well, hopefully we don't have to clean them up off the ground, and
just before the ship leaves, or like just before Elroy departs, Mara is going to take him aside and not threateningly, but I guess firmly, she's going to tell him, look, you have a small town, a wealthy small town. As far as I've known you, you seem to be like a good man out to protect your people. In the wrong hands, this blue powder, this magical dust, has the potential to start all kinds of conflict. If your intentions are anything other than pure for your town, I will come for you.
Nothing less from you lot.
Understood.
And that's part of the reason why I chose you. You seemed a little stronger in your own ways than some of the other people that come through here. I mean, people go there and make it back often, but they're nothing more than mere guards, and you guys just stand out. And I'm really happy that I decided to place my trust in you strangers. And if nothing else, you all good?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, everything gets loaded up. The planks get brought up to the the deck, and the cargo hatch gets shut. And you hear the captain, start yelling commands to his crew. It's like, all right, pull up the anchor, drop the sails, blah blah blah, all that stuff that I actually don't really know the commands for. Those are the only two I know. But basically getting everything ready, and there is a little bit of a crew of people down on the dock that have like these kind of like long staffs, essentially, that just like help push it away from the dock a little bit. And yeah, you guys are departing to Isocross now, to the this was left out, I meant to include it, I'm sorry. The town is called, I'm gonna butcher what it's actually supposed to be pronounced, I'm not sure, but it's Syrinia, something like that. Syrin. Oh, it's actually, you can see it on the map probably. Syrinlya. Syrinia. That L throws me off. But that's the town that you guys will be heading to once, getting across over to the region of Isocross, which is multiple islands. And yeah, you got to link up with Orvo Mustave, and the buyer is the information that you were given. And we're going to end our session there. This is going to be so much fun. Oh, gosh. I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for being patient through this role play. It was pretty thick role play for this, but we needed to push through it, and I'm glad we made it. I hope everybody watching is enjoying the interactions between our players, because I sure am. I'm not going to lie to you. I really, really am enjoying the interactions. It's awesome, especially with NPCs too. Just kind of seeing which way your characters are going. And this is fun. Haganar, kind of not the quiet one or anything like that, but you and Atlas both actually are pretty straight to the point with what you're thinking. Really, I'd like to say all of you are pretty straight to the point in your own way. Atlas and Haganar are a little more gruff about it. Mara, I like your kind of like more wise take on it a little bit, thinking things through rather than being like, yeah, whatever, time could just blurt it out. Like, you still, it's a lot of fun the way you guys dance around certain things. Pretty impressed with how you got that vial from Lyle.
Lyle's file.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming, but I hope everyone's enjoying the story so far, and keep watching. Do the like, the subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah.
Tell us what you like, what you don't like, and hopefully just keep watching. Tell your friends, and that should be it, right? Yep.
Yeah, most importantly.
Stay dapper. The code.